G'day, this is Captain Noob and welcome to a bit of Battlefield 1 gameplay. Today I'll be playing on Suez with the DLC, I can't remember the name of it, St. Chamond tank. So this one is particularly interesting because not only do I go on a 72 kill streak, there's a lot of broken tank nonsense in this because obviously this is the patch where the tanks were very, very broken indeed. So the first little bit of action that we get here is just the heavy tank there, and we do get attacked by these horses, but that heavy tank problem sort of fixes itself as he runs to an explosive building and dies. So yeah, that's the way to go. So we're being bombarded with grenades here, so we have to unfortunately take a step back to repair ourselves here, so we'll do that. And using that little flashlight on the top of the vehicle, we'll just flash it over the back of the vehicle, hopefully get it spotted. Anyway, so next thing I know, I'm at Echo here because they're attacking that, and it's important for any sort of team to want to keep their gimme flags like that good. So speeding this up again because I don't do a lot, I come over this hill here and just take out any sort of horses that want to go ahead and do the same trick again, because I don't like being backcapped. It's a very good way of getting outflanked in a tank, would you believe. So now we're sort of pushing up a little bit, but they're on Delta again, which is unfortunate. Basically, what happens is it's a pretty much of a comeback this round. Spoiler alert if anyone who was actually invested into this nonsense, but yeah, it ends up being fairly close until about the end where we managed to pull through. But generally games go a lot better when I'm doing flawless anyway, because, well, maybe that's the other way around. I go a lot better when our team's winning because I don't have to push so much. So here we are on Charlie. I think I just left that to the teammates. I noticed that I'm getting shot at by AT rockets, so I just pop smoke and go away there. And yeah, leave Charlie to my teammates while I go ahead and focus on Delta, because again, backcaps are important. Don't let anyone tell you they're not. So there's a couple of dudes hiding in buildings as per usual. We cleared them out. Now we're on the flag, so that's it. A little bit of stuff there. And now it's all clear. We don't get a repair in because we see a dude to kill. We kill them, and then we get a quick repair. And the flag status isn't really going down all that much. There's obviously still a lot of people on the flag, so what I do here is, instead of knocking down buildings or anything like that, I just let the teammates do that, because I've spotted a land ship there. And that is a particularly troublesome land ship because it is a tank hunter variant. But fortunately for me, I should say, my tank's broken, and any hits on the front will not penetrate, it'll just bounce off like that. So I probably would have taken most of my health damage if that happened, so let me piss off from him a bit. Usually tank hunter land ships are no problem for infantry to take out. He was running into a hive of my infantry, so I don't think he survived much more than that. But yeah, that's the last time we'll see a thing like that. So now we are just gunning from this side, and we're sort of waiting for our forces to sort of regroup and all of that. Unfortunately, we've got a lot of snipers, which doesn't help me push any bit at all, because what do? They just sit there up on the ridges doing shit. But I managed to push up here, and I get a pretty damn decent little foothold here just outside of Charlie. Now what I want to do now is just sort of wait around until some of my forces gather, and you'll see that through this gameplay as you see dudes just spawning in and bailing out, and they'll sort of come out. So there's a medic that just spawned, good on him. And using that flashlight there, we can just pretty much spot anything we can possibly see, which is nice. Trying to gun as many as we can down. There's quite a lot on flag at the moment, so jumping on it will probably not do a lot except get me killed or just a lot of attention in general. So we'll take out these palm trees here to make sure no enemy infantry can hide in it. We'll just use a shell on that sniper because I don't like them. And now, unfortunately, Delta is under attack, but I think that sort of fixes itself. So now we're about 30 tickets down, and we've still got the majority of flags against us. But we've got time to act, so there's no real rush here. We'll have to sort of wait to make our move. Now there's some dude on the field gun there, so we've got to go ahead and shell him, otherwise he'll start wrecking my tank. There he goes. Now, so we've got a bunch of infantry dudes around here now, so that looks like we are almost ready. But I think I've spotted a tank at this point, so I'm backing off just out of caution. Now, unfortunately for me, I hit this dude on the front, and so does he, and we're not doing any damage to each other, so I think I just pick off infantry near him instead. So now we back off a little bit, hoping to sort of lure him this way, so I can flank him and actually get a good hit on him. So we get a good repair here. And at this point I'm thinking, okay, what can I do now to sort of help out with that tank in the way, because it's a little bit hard. And while these guys are out here, it's not really the best thing, so I'd imagine if I push through, they'd follow in, but looks like the climate of Charlie at the moment is just full of enemies, so I probably don't want to do that just yet. And there's a tank I was worried about, that's why I was sort of sitting back. And now I can actually get a few hits on him because his armor is angled at a shallow angle, but it's not enough to make the game think I'm ricocheting all the time. So I hit him a bunch of times, he backs off, and then I just sort of I should have chased him if I wanted him dead, but I think I'll be fine for just a bit. He has pretty long down times in repairing alone, so and I know exactly what to do if he catches me by surprise, is just face directly forward of him, and there. So I kill a horse there, looking to go to Echo, and at this point they've captured Delta once more, so again I have to go back and sort of clean up that mess before I go ahead and push onto Charlie there. So they're taking another couple of shots at the tank there. Then it just sort of solidifies at this point, okay, these tanks are broken, I'm wasting my time and my shells, I'm just going to go straight to the flag. So I think obviously he made a full recovery there, so we'll just go ahead and go back to Delta. Looks like we've got 3 assault dudes here, so looks like I've got a decently good teammate so for this, at least in class. Not sure in skill, can never be sure about blueberries, but I did notice there was some guy in and around that building, so he goes ahead and throws a gas grenade at me, which does absolutely nothing, and I get a cheeky little kill there. And another one, and as you can see this place is nearly neutralized, so we've gone ahead and fixed that little issue on Delta. But again, that glaring issue of not holding the majority of the flags makes it sort of suck. So there you go, there's a little bit of medal progress there, which is nice. And now after we sort of capture this one, we'll be right to move on to Charlie. And I realised that exploiting the angle that I did last time probably wasn't going to work. There's a lot of people around that side, but if I come along this side, there's actually quite a bridge for them to sort of go over to attack me, so it actually presents a good opportunity to take that flag. But first of all, we've got to take out the infantry that is sort of hanging just outside of Delta, just to make sure that they don't push through any of my flags. So there's a tank again. He's made a bad move by not trying to seek me out and face me, like literally face me, because that's what you do to avoid damage when your tanks are glitched. But yeah, he doesn't sort of move. I'm not sure what his deal was, but now he's dead, so that's good. That gets a lot of pressure off me as a tanker, not having to deal with another enemy tank, which means I'm allowed to take out infantry better, which means, yeah, I'm allowed to just go hand in my shells and use them all. And the Coax LMG or HMG is doing pretty well too. Now the thing I noticed about the Chamond too is its reverse speed is a lot higher than the heavy tank, which can be useful in getting yourself out of sticky situations. And if you actually go ahead and reverse off a hill, and I think that was an AT gun, pop open that little flashlight again just to spot him, and that cheeky bugger's got an anti-tank grenade on me, and I'm being K-bulleted by some dude. Yeah, not anymore though. So now I'm just sitting outside of the flag, so what I do is just quickly sneak on board, and now we're capturing it. Pop a quick repair and a little bit of smoke to give that little medic cover, because I'm probably going to be a rocket and grenade mag that need definitely get caught in the crossfire. So I go ahead and try to take this from a different spot, so he's not really in danger anymore, because he's got actually pretty good cover there, so I don't want to compromise his spot. So there we go, there's a dude just running across the open to kill a tank, big fucking mistake. And now we're back into Charlie here. We've neutralized it, but as you can see, again, they're on Delta, but I think that problem sort of solved itself. So that's good. So now we're finally on it. We might have captured it. Now this is the point where you captured the flag and you want to sort of establish a line that they can't break through. And the easiest way to do that is just to sort of get them annoyed enough to go ahead and attack you rather than taking out flags, which is surprisingly easy as a tanker. You kill people a few times and then they're going to come for you. And you'll see that later in the form of some dude with a horse. So yeah, that's a thing. So now I'm exploiting this sort of angle over here. There's not a lot of things to do over this side. I do go ahead and that was Chris Little Randall, who's actually the leader of Aussie Elite Clan, so good on him. And we get a cheeky little double kill there. And now we're sort of clearing them and pushing them back to Bravo, which is where we want to go. So yeah, establishing the line at Charlie, you don't have to just sort of hold them there, and most Blueberry teammates will run forward anyway, but what you need to do is just make sure you hold the 3 flags at least and make sure they don't get through. This is very basic battlefield tactics though, so most of you will probably already know this. So there's that medal there. That's a nice 25,000 XP there, but I'm already max rank at this section, so that only serves to raise my score per minute. And now I've been transferred to squad leader, so that happened, and I immediately put the thing there. The dude who gave me that step down, he was that dude on the horse. He probably went into the menu and maybe tried to kick me, or maybe deliberately did that, but enough about that. So now we are capturing Bravo, which is nice, and a little bit of resistance on Echo at this point, but I don't think that gets anywhere, which is nice. I'm not sure who's up there, or maybe there's a teammate who spawns on it to make sure that doesn't get captured, but I'm pretty sure that all ends up nice and fine. Now we've lost our ground on Bravo, which means I should probably pull my thumb out of my ass and actually do something about it, but now I'm sort of luring enemies out of this place, which is nice. So being a tanker, you can use your tanks to do a great many things other than just take a lot of AT rockets before you die, would you believe? And there you go, there's the tilted horseman there, he goes and dies. So there's going to be a few people that are going to come out and try to hunt me down. I think that one too is one of the dudes who wants me dead at this point, and I don't blame him. So we're going to pop a quick repair here after a little bit of smoke, and we'll have that repair rudely interrupted by a grenade spamming medic. This is one of my pet peeves actually, I don't like it when I see that. Anyways, so there we go, we've gone ahead and taken this spot, and we've got a pretty good foothold at this point. I don't think I need to be around all that much anymore, so I just move around, spot a horse. Here has another attempt on me. Some teammate steals that kill, and there we go, we get another repair again. And I think at this point I'm thinking, where else can I go to make myself useful? So I'm going ahead and going around this way, right to the middle, down the guts I reckon. And that'll just help me in just not only distracting, but it's just another angle. These guys have pretty much got this sort of side covered now, and they're not going to be coming around that side, hopefully, for the tank. But if they are, I'm pretty sure the infantry would take them out nice and easily. Anyway, we're coming around the corner now, and there is a infantry there that kind of annoyed me. But since our tank is glitched, that hit 90 degrees on the front, does no damage, and now we've got some cheeky dynamite monkey, and he doesn't kill me because I end up destroying his explosives, and we get a quick repair after that. Now what I want to do now is just go over to the other side so we can sort of horseshoe them a little bit, I suppose. And what I found out during this match is that basically the spawns on this side, right under that little structure over there where the palm trees are, is completely unprotected, and you can basically spawn kill to your heart's content, which is interesting. You really think DICE would tighten up those spawns, but they don't. So now all I do is just sort of keep picking off these guys, farming kills, and yeah, what else would you do with a tank, right? So now they're going to sort of run up to me, which poses a huge problem. I don't like it when people run up and around me when they're enemies, because it presents the threat of them being, or me being squad bombed, like this bloke here. So he might have a few mates to spawn on him, which would be assault players, which would be very deadly to me, so we'll kill him. And now we've lost a little bit of ground there, but we can go ahead and reload our shells whilst we turn around our tank. And that's one of the things you really need to do as a tanker, is just like never do nothing. So even when you're repairing or something, press the reload button, make sure your shells are reloading, and that's good. So we've got a, I think it's a howitzer, no, it's a heavy tank over there. We managed to get a hit on him, and I think we get his attention at some point, but I don't think he'll do any damage to us. We've got a good little spot here up on this hill to kill any people who spawn, and it looks like that spawn is being cut off anyway because of that assault dude, but probably not anymore. So that little horseman quickly dies. I knock out his horse, a bit more points, and now we've gotten the heavy tank's attention. So I'm trying to find a good angle to actually kill this guy on, but it's too shallow and we are both ricocheting on each other. I get a good hit there. Now he's showing me a decent side of his tanks for me to kill. Only problem is that when you're hitting them with that shallow angle, you're going to take 6 or 7 shells to kill the thing, so you're going to have to sit through a few reloads for the shells to get that. And it makes it very, very hard to do indeed. Unfortunately, fortunately for me, he sort of gives up and bails out of his tank for some reason. I'm not sure why he did that. He's probably a kid not really knowing what he does. But anyway, that's another dead tank, and now we hold every single objective. And look at those things just tick up. So, looks like our team has sort of pulled through. I'm at a loss of what to do at the moment because there's no real place for me to go except for spawn trapping them right at the end of the flag. But that's a good way to get yourself killed, and it also is also a good way of being a cheap ass. So I don't really like doing that, so I guess we'll try to mop up anyone else around, use that little flashlight to spot people, make sure he's dead, and then we've got an armoured train en route. So against better judgment, what I do now is I think I head straight towards it or something like that, because there really isn't all that much to do. They're back on Bravo at this point, but I don't think they get it back at all. And if they do, there'd be a flood of infantry to deal with, so it'd be fun anyways. But I don't think they get it back at all. We managed to hold the flags for the entire match, I think. So we managed to push them all back. We did well. Good on you, teammates. And yeah, it's pretty good there. Don't think there's a whole lot to say about this more other than the tank glitch can help you out sometimes. There's armoured train. There we go, they get the A flag back, but it's not going to last long for them. I realise now that there's bugger all things left, and after failing to take out this buggy, I am not satisfied with how I end this round. So what I do is I just go for one last blaze of glory before the match ends, just by doing something a tanker should never do. So don't do this at home, not like ever. Don't do this. I just basically go ahead and charge in where there's completely no cover, everyone's shooting at me, armoured trains on me, everything's trying to kill me at this point. Although, looking back, I'm still at 64% health, so it didn't go too bad. But there you go, that's the match. So, yep, 72 kills, no deaths, all in a day's work, and there you have it. Suez is a pretty shit map, but sometimes it works. I think of it as a quite hit and miss map. And there you go, there's 32k points. So there you have it, that was this Conquest round with a little bit of commentary this time, so isn't that interesting? And there's me being badass at A squad there with my from a stock clock thingy. So there you have it. Got a bunch of other Battlefield gameplay but no commentary, so if you're interested in seeing more tank bullshittery, then go ahead and do that. Thank you for watching, guys.